wanted to put together a very beginner, kind of level 1, traditional, classical mat sequence. So we're gonna get started. Hop right to it. First off, we're gonna start with our head float. So we can be down, our legs can be bent, hip distance apart. Those hands are gonna come behind our head. And then you're pulling those elbows apart. And just take a moment here, use your inhale to expand your ribs, expand your spine, and then use your exhale and be pressing your abs down to kind of fill in the gap in between your back and the mat. And then again, inhaling, returning to neutral, feeling nice, big and expanded. Exhale, blow everything on down, pressing your abs down. And then inhaling big. We're going to do one more like that. It's just a prep. Inhaling really big. Exhale, press it on down. And then we're going to take that and we're going to add in a head float to it. So keeping your elbows nice and wide, but still in your peripheral vision, you're going to inhale really big. As you curl on up. Exhale, press those abs down as you curl back down. And then again, inhaling to curl up. Exhale, press those abs down to curl back on down. And we're doing a few more. Awesome. This is one of my favorite ways to just warm up the spine. Feel out the head curl. One last one here. And all the way back on down. Nice. You're going to take those hands out from behind your head. Bring them down to your side. Really pull those collarbones apart so your chest feels nice and broad. And then we're bringing your legs up into tabletop. So from this tabletop, we're going to do toe touches or whatever touches you can do. You're going to inhale as you send those legs away. Try to keep that spine nice and neutral. Exhale, pull those legs back on in. And you're trying to keep that spine and your hips nice and level. Nothing's changing. Everything's staying nice and stable. And you're just tapping those toes down. Exhale as you come back on in. And make sure that you're trying to stay in that tabletop. You're not just letting your knees come down and you're doing little taps like this. You're trying to stay in that tabletop. Setting those legs away, pulling them back on in. Nice, we're going to do one last one there. And back on in. And then you're going to take one foot down. I put my right foot down. My left leg's going to cross over top. If crossing your legs doesn't feel right for you, or if it's not right in your body, say like you have a hip replacement or something, keep those knees together. It's totally fine. And we're just going to do big knee sways. So keeping the shoulders nice and broad. Make sure they stay pressing down into the mat. You're going to let those knees sway to one side on a great big inhale. Exhale, blow yourself back up to center. And then inhaling over to the other side. Getting those first big twists in. We're doing 2 on both sides. So inhaling on over, big twist, keep the shoulder down. Use your exhale, use your abs, pull yourself back up to center. Inhaling on over. And exhaling back on up. And then we're going to uncross those legs, cross the other one over, and then we're going to do 2s again. So inhaling on over. Feel what's different. Maybe pulse on your hip a little different. Exhale back up. Inhaling over. I got a big crack on that side. Exhaling back on up. And then again. Inhaling over. Exhaling up. And last one. Nice, and then we're going to bring those legs on back up to center, and we're going to go into our 100. So for a beginner 100, we're actually going to keep our feet on the floor to start. Our hands are still by our side, and we're actually going to bring those legs together. So we still got something squeezing. And then you're going to reach through those fingers, curl your head and chest on up, and then you can start pumping for your 100 here. Inhaling for those 5-ish counts, exhaling for those 5-ish counts. If you wanted to make it harder, you can bring your legs up into a tabletop and keep going. If this ever doesn't feel right for your head or neck, you can either grab a pillow, you could bring a hand behind your head, you could leave your head down and bring those legs up. But just keep the arms moving, keep that circulation going. If you want to make it harder than that, you can straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. Or you can even send them further and further and further and further away. But pick your level of hard. We got 2 more big breaths. And then you can bend all the way back on in, hug it in, shake it off. If you got any tension in your low back, rock those knees side to side, anything in your neck, rock your head side to side, whatever you gotta do to release it. And then we're gonna come on up to sitting, and we're gonna do some pelvic rocks. Pelvic rocks are like the intro to a roll down. So we're gonna have our legs bent about hip distance apart. Our hands can come behind our thighs, but they're not gripping, they're just there for support. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna start by rotating through the hips, rotating through that pelvis. Really try to sit those sits bones right towards those heels. You're going back, you send that belly button back, those low abs back. And you go down maybe a lot, maybe a little bit. We gotta get all the way back on up again. Coming all the way up. And then again, rotate through the hips to start. Really kind of squeeze that pelvic floor, lift that pelvic floor, send the lower abs back, the belly button back, maybe the upper abs back. Exhale through that sticky spot to come all the way back on up. And we're doing 3 more like that. So curling back, reach through those feet, don't let them lift off. Maybe you're going all the way down onto the mat, that's cool. And then you gotta come all the way back on up again. We're doing 2 more here. Curling back, and all the way back on up. We got one last one. Maybe try to get to your shoulder blades if you haven't already. Come all the way on back. See if you get the tip of your shoulder blades to touch, and then come all the way on up again. Awesome. So from here, we're gonna lay down for a single leg circle. So laying on down, we're gonna have that left leg straight. The foot's gonna be nice and flexed. The right leg's gonna be up towards the ceiling. It does not matter if it's completely straight or if it's a little bent, but really reach it up no matter what. Turn it out so that heel will be turned in, the toes will be out towards the outside that little bit, and then we're gonna cross the body to start. The hip picks up. You never cross midline. So you should never be like going past the inseam of your pants like this. So you're gonna cross the body, keep the opposite shoulder down, circle all the way down and around, out to the outside, exhale to come on up. And then we're going again. Inhale, pick the hip up, circle down and around, exhale to come back on up. Check in, is that bottom foot nice and flexed? Is that top leg nice and turned out? We're doing 3 in one direction, 3 in the other. Nice, coming all the way down and around, and then you're gonna pause at the top, we're gonna reverse it. So make sure it's still nice and turned out, the bottom foot's nice and flexed, circle it out to the outside, all the way down and around, cross the body, the hip picks up, the shoulder blade stays down, curling back up to center. And then again, coming around. Exhale back to center. And you come up to the top, bring that leg in, give it a little hug, release that hip flexor. It's feeling a little tight today. Mine is. I've been sitting and editing a lot. So then we're doing the other side. So right foot's down, or right leg's down, foot's nice and flexed. The left leg's coming up towards the ceiling. It's nice and turned out, and then we pick the leg up, we circle it down and around, really squeezing that glute, push that leg away, circles all the way up, inhaling and exhaling. Keep the shoulder blades down. One last one in this direction. Keep that turnout, and then we reverse, circling out to the outside, reach with that leg, squeeze that glute. Exhale, come all the way back on up. And once you've done this last one here, you're gonna bend that leg in, give it a little hug. Okay, So you're gonna hug on that leg so much that you curl your head and chest on up. You're gonna unweight the other leg so you're pointing that toe so hard, and then we're gonna switch. Starting our single leg stretch. Giving it a little hug when it comes in. If this again feels too much for your head or neck, leave it down. Have that big, expansive inhale. You're pressing your low back down into the mat. We're going to do this last switch here. And then hug it on and awesome. So we're going to have both legs hugged in. We're going to do our double leg stretch next. Really squeezing those legs together. You've got your head and chest curled on up, unless that doesn't feel right for you. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale, reach arms and legs away. Exhale, curl everything back on in, hug it in nice and close. Inhaling away, exhale and hug it back down in. Use that expansion of your lungs to press your legs away, to reach those arms up over your head. In stressful times like there are right now, you gotta breathe. Take those big deep breaths. One last one. Coming all the way on in and relaxing it down. Awesome. So press those knees into your hands to curl yourself back on up. We're going to do spine stretch. So we're going to be in a straddle. If you have really tight hip flexors and it's hard to sit up with your legs straight, then have a little softness in your knees. Something that feels comfortable. There's no point in doing something that doesn't feel comfortable. It's just never fun. You know what? We like to have fun. So feet are nice and flexed. They're pointed up towards the ceiling. You're going to inhale those arms up over your head. You're going to exhale, reach through the crown of your head like you're rolling up and over something. Use your inhale to inflate yourself back on up towards the ceiling. And then again, use that exhale, but reach up and over like you're going up and over a beach ball. Use that inhale to inflate yourself back on up. We're going to do two more here. Inhale, exhaling down. Inhaling back on up. And last one. Awesome. So shake out those arms if they're feeling a little gooey. You're going to open them up towards the outside. Really reach those fingertips away. Open up your chest. You're going to twist to one side to do soft. You're going to reach towards a knee, a calf, an ankle, and then you're going to flip your back hand. So the palms scooping up towards the ceiling. Look back towards it. Twist as far as you can, and then unscoop. Lift your head and chest up. Untwist. Twist the other way. So you're going to reach forward, scoop with that back arm, lift it up as high as you possibly can, big twist, coming all the way on up, untwisting. And then again, you're going to inhale, exhale, forward bend, reach up to that back arm, inhale to restack, untwist, twist the other way, exhaling on over, and then inhaling up and across. Awesome, then you're going to come all the way on up. We're going to do swan, so this will be our first extension. So we're going to lay down onto our stomach. So traditionally our legs would be squeezing together. If that feels like too much pressure on your lower back or your hips, leave them hip distance apart. I prefer them that, but no wider. Okay. Your hands are going to be down by your chest, but we're not actually going to use them to start. You're going to inhale, pick yourself on up as high as you can with all of your own muscles. Then use those hands, press to continue. And then come down with length. Inhaling to pick yourself on up. Use those hands to make it bigger. And it doesn't matter if your arms get straight. It doesn't matter how high up you come. Reach those shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Exhale as you come back on down. Feel like you're trying to pinch something between your shoulder blades. And if you can, squeezing those legs together, pressing those hips down towards the mat. We've got one last one. Nice, big, expansive extension. Okay, it's coming on down. So you're gonna reach those arms out in front of you like you've got your pegboard. And then you're gonna pull your pegs towards you. So then your elbows are kind of underneath your shoulders. The reason why I told you to do that is because I want you to keep having that sensation of pulling. You're not just like here hanging out on your elbows, like watching TV. We're up, we're pulling, and then we're gonna really reach through our feet. They're about hip distance apart now. Press those hip bones down. Just try and lift those legs up as high as you can off the mat. And then we're gonna kick one leg in, kick, kick, and then switch, kick, kick. But you're trying to keep the legs as high up off the mat as possible. This probably isn't the best camera angle to see. I don't have much hip extension myself. I'm working on it. But keep pulling on those pegs. Keep kicking those feet, keep pressing those hips down. We're gonna do one more switch there. Nice, and then you can carefully press yourself back. Have a quick child's pose. Okay, and then we're going to come down to our side for our side kick series. So traditionally in our side kick series, you'd have your elbow down and your hand underneath your head. If that doesn't feel right for you or your shoulder, you can be down on your bicep, something that feels comfortable for you. Or if you prefer, you can be up on your elbow, ends up taking a little more shoulder stability, but it's a good option too. Okay. That hand's underneath your head. Your feet are going to be just slightly out in front of you. So if you're lined up towards the back edge of your mat, bring your feet towards the front edge. Top hand's going to be pressing down into the mat today. Top leg's going to be up at about hip height. And then we're going to flex the foot, kick it forward, point the foot, send it to the back. And then flexing to kick forward, pointing to the back. Really trying to keep the shoulders stacked one on top of the other so you're not twisting. You keep the hips stacked one on top of the other. Inhaling to kick forward, exhaling to kick back. You're going to do one last one like that. And then you're going to bring that leg over top that other leg. It's going to be pointed. Squeeze the glutes so it's nice and turned out. So you want the toes more up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to kick up and back on down. Inhale to go up, exhale and squeeze down. And again, you're trying to keep the hips stacked, one on top of the other. It's going to want to drop back behind you to try and get a little more range. Don't let it. If you forgot about your shoulder, make sure that you're not letting it just squish into your ear. Lots of length everywhere. One last one here, and then we're coming back on down, and then we're just going to do little stirs. So reach through that toe and do little tiny baby circles, making sure all of that motion is coming right from your hip, your glutes, your inner thigh, your quads. You shouldn't feel like your knees bending or your ankles doing anything. And then reverse your circle. Whew. Nice. And then you can rest that leg on down for a second. And we're going to go over and do the other side. So either rolling over on your mat or flipping around like I am. You're going to have that hand either underneath your head, you're on your bicep, you're on that forearm, whatever feels best for you. Top hand's going to be pressing down into the mat today. Those legs are just slightly in front of you. The top leg's going to come up to about hip height. And then we're flex the foot to kick forward, point the foot, to go back. And then again, flexing forward, pointing back. Really reach through that foot, reach through that leg. Exhale into the back, inhale and forward. Trying to keep that leg at about hip height the entire time. Nice, really pressing through that top hand. Pressing into that elbow so your shoulder stays away from your ear. We got one last one. Awesome. Point that toe, turn that leg out so the heel's down, the toe is up. We're going straight up towards the ceiling and straight back on down. Inhale and up, exhale and on down. And you're really reaching through that foot like you wanted to make it longer than the other leg. Really pressing the bottom foot down into the mat, into the floor. And keeping those hips nice and stacked. We got one last one. All the way up and all the way back on down. And then we're pointing through that foot and we're going to do those little stirs. So circling around. Big deep breaths. It's coming right from the top of the leg, right into those glutes, that inner thigh, that outer thigh. Notice maybe this side feels more circular, maybe doesn't. It's always fun to notice. Maybe one direction feels like a circle and then we're going to reverse. Maybe it feels more like a weird octagon, an egg shape. Big deep breaths. One last one there. Nice, relax that leg down. We're gonna come onto our back and we're gonna do some shoulder bridges. So those feet are gonna be fairly close towards our sits bones. Those arms are down by our side. Again, pull those collarbones apart to open up your chest and press through those feet. Big toe to baby, toe to heel. You've got that nice lifted arch. And then we're gonna curl our pelvis up. And then you're gonna just continue it up your spine. Reach for those knees, send as much weight into those feet as possible. Lifting your hips up. And then one vertebrae at a time, you lower yourself all the way down. Have a little squeeze of your inner thigh. Obviously they're not touching if your legs are hip distance apart. But a little squeeze so then your knees don't travel out. There's a tendency to let them travel. If you're having a hard time with this, put a pillow between your knees. Squeeze on that. Don't drop it. I'm so excited. We're definitely going to do some cool, exciting prop videos soon. Coming all the way on up and all the way back on down. Nice. Okay, we're going to come on up and we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to do a couple cat-cows and then bird dog to finish. So, on your hands and knees here, or maybe on your fists and knees, or if you don't like being any weight on your hands, you could curl your toes underneath you. You can sit back on your heels and do them here. So, whatever option feels right for you, pull the shoulder blades away from your ears, and then we're going to start. Diving your head, puffing the shoulder blades up, puffing through that mid-back, the low back, squeeze the glutes, and then unravel the glutes, but keep everything else in that nice curl until you ask for it to unravel. Lifting your head and chest on up, really squeezing everything together, and then diving your head, curling through that spine, one vertebrae at a time. Awesome. I'm going to do one more, curl everything up and together, and then extending it. Nice. Then you're going to find kind of a neutral spine. So you've got a soft curve in your low back. It's equal weight, kind of knees to hands, or maybe a little more in your knees. And then we're gonna do bird dog. So you're gonna lift one hand and your opposite leg. So I'm taking my right hand, my left leg, we're lifting it up. And then we're just placing it right back on down. Try to keep that spine nice and steady. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to pull it back on in and down, placing it down meaningfully. Nice. We're doing one more on both sides. This is nice kind of beginner swimming. So let's face it, I don't think anyone really likes swimming. The bird dog we can get. We're gonna do one more on both sides. I think I just said that, but that's okay. And then coming back on in, and then you can sit yourself back on down. Great job, guys. Now it's very basic beginner classical Pilates. Next week, I'm gonna do a little bit more of an intermediate level, and then week after, we're going full on advanced, start to finish. It's gonna be a long video, but it'll be such a treat and so much fun to do. So super excited for that. Look forward to it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe so then you know when those videos are coming on out. And I will hopefully see you all soon. Lots of love and healthy vibes. Bye.